Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm Grover Silcox. The Iacocca Global Village program is one of the longest running international programs at Lehigh University, and it's celebrating its 25th anniversary. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll learn about how it began, its mission, and alumni. We'll learn about how an Allentown native had the vision to make this dream a reality. But first, we'll hear from Joseph Helbley, Lehigh University's 15th president.
On behalf of the Lehigh University community, welcome to this very special celebration, the 25th anniversary of the Iacocca Institute's Global Village. The Institute, named in honor of distinguished Lehigh alumnus Lee Iacocca, was founded in 1988. The Global Village, launched in summer 1997, represented an important step forward in its mission. In that first year, the Global Village welcomed 53 villagers representing 26 distinct countries. It heralded a deepening of the Institute's founding commitment to empowering the next generation of leaders who have to navigate a world that is increasingly interconnected and constantly changing. The idea of bringing young leaders together from all over the world into a diverse, intensive, challenging residential environment to work in teams and to learn how to collaborate and lead was groundbreaking. As Mr. Iacocca saw it, our focus needed to be on answering questions such as, how does one go about building global leadership? And how does one demonstrate to all of us from different cultures and communities that our similarities vastly outweigh our differences? To date, the Global Village has touched the lives of nearly 2,500 young leaders. It has also served as a catalyst for innovation at Lehigh. It inspired the Iacocca Global Entrepreneurship Intensive for high school students, first launched as a Pennsylvania Governor's School in 2000. It inspired the launch of the Iacocca International Internships in 2011. And in 2017, it spurred Lehigh's commitment to host Mandela Washington Fellows, expanding connections to more than 30 sub-Saharan African countries. The global footprint forged by the Global Village program now extends to 141 countries spanning the globe. And the Global Village Network, created by alumni more than a decade ago, connects alumni, partners, faculty and students, and communities worldwide. 25 years is a long time for any program. Although the global experience has changed over the years, its purpose and values have not. None of this happens on its own. The success of the Global Village depends on extraordinary partnerships in our campus community, throughout the Lehigh Valley, and across the globe. Lehigh Valley Public Media, home of PBS 39, has been an enthusiastic and invaluable partner through the years, as a host, a collaborator, a client for project teams, and a partner for events that engage the community. We have many other such partnerships here in the Lehigh Valley. On a national and international scale, the U.S. Department of State and the American Councils for International Education have sponsored hundreds of villagers over more than 20 years of partnership. Collectively, our partners help us connect the global to the local in countless ways to the benefit of all our communities. At the heart of the Global Village is the legacy of Lee Iacocca and his family, and their continuing generosity and commitment to Lehigh University, the Lehigh Valley, and the leaders of tomorrow. Congratulations to the Iacocca Global Village for an incredible quarter century of bringing people together and connecting our communities to the world. To our villagers and alumni in the audience and online today, thank you for your commitment to each other and to all of us here at Lehigh and throughout the Lehigh Valley. I can't wait to see what tomorrow will bring.
We are live from our Public Media Center in Bethlehem. PBS 39 and 91.3 WLVR are proud to bring you this program. Today, we're broadcasting to the entire Lehigh Valley and to an extremely diverse international audience who is tuning in online to watch this program from every continent. From places such as Japan, Uzbekistan, Italy, Germany, Ethiopia, Peru, and many more. Now, let me introduce you to our panel. Kira Mendez, Director of the Iacocca Institute. Welcome. Dr. Cheryl Matherly, Vice President and Vice Provost for International Affairs at Lehigh University. Welcome. And Susan Yee, CEO of Active Data, angel investor with the Broad Street Angels in Philadelphia and chair of Lehigh Valley's Public Media Board. We're now going to take a look at the Iacocca Global Village viewing party at SteelStack's Performance Arts Campus, where we have almost 200 participants from over 41 countries watching this program. Let's remember the reason there is a celebration today. We are here because of a man, a visionary, a global leader. He was one of our own, a proud Allentown native, Lee Iacocca.
Lito Anthony Iacocca, or Lee Iacocca, was born on October 15, 1924, in Allentown, Pennsylvania. The son of Italian immigrants Nicola and Antoinette, the Iacocca family came from the small town of San Marco di Cavoti in the province of Benevento in the Italian region of Campania. Lee learned the nuts and bolts of business from his father, a successful businessman who taught Lee the importance of having a strong drive and great vision to build a thriving business. Lee earned an undergraduate degree in engineering from Lehigh University and later earned a master's degree from Princeton University. Lee was only 46 years old when he became the president of Ford Motors in December of 1970. 9 years later, he became president of the Chrysler Corporation and turned around the company from the brink of bankruptcy. The reason we are here today is to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Iacocca Global Village program. Iacocca Global Village started in 1997 with the full support from Lee. It carries his vision to inspire and create the global leaders of tomorrow.
Getting to know each other and sharing our cultures. And maybe that's the biggest part of learning in the whole world today.
Lee's question to Lehigh University was, how can we bring global leaders together to work, learn, share, and understand how people, companies, and countries can work together and help build a better future for everyone? The answer was to create the Iacocca Institute and the Iacocca Global Village program. To date, the Iacocca Global Village has proudly touched the lives of nearly 2,500 young leaders from 141 countries and territories across every continent. Global Villagers incorporated the Global Village Network more than a decade ago to stay connected and support each other in the pursuit of professional and personal development. Lee passed away in 2019 at the age of 94. But his legacy in the global automotive industry at Lehigh University, at the Iacocca Institute, and the hearts and minds of thousands of global villagers and leaders from around the world lives on. Thank you, Lee.
Obviously, we can't tell Lee's entire story or share all of his accomplishments in a couple of minutes, but we can all agree that Lee's vision, determination, and leadership skills are the reason there is a Global Village program at Lehigh. Kara, you're the director of the Iacocca Institute and helped create the Iacocca Global Village program. What can you tell us about Lee and the early days of the Institute?
Okay, well, thank you. First of all, I want to say that I was only a small part of its early history. I was privileged to have some role in the founding of the Global Village. And I first connected with the Institute in the early 90s through Lehigh professor Roger Nagel, and we did some collaborations. He was involved in the very early days of the Institute, and he became its director in 1995. And we were working with organizations, leaders from all over the world on issues of global competitiveness, and we were designing new executive education programs. And I had the opportunity to go out and speak to Lee in 1993 with a new executive education design. And his clear feedback was that he was keen to focus on the next generation. That really was what he was all about. He believed that the future leaders needed new ways to lead, that the times were changing, that they needed to be in a global context, and that was really driving his passion at that point. Roger had some great ideas and assembled a diverse team. I was lucky to be involved with that team. And I think it was very clear to us all around the table at that point that we were doing something that was very special. And as it took shape, we were convinced it would be an important program. And the program that emerged was active, experiential. It was connecting leaders to each other, living and working together. It was shaped over the years by many other leaders. Dick Brandt, the second director of the Institute, and others on the team over the years who evolved it as the times changed. And then the alumni also got involved in evolving it. And alumni have been an important part of how the learning and the experience is passed down from generation to generation. So in a way, it took a village to create the village. And I think that's still true today, that every year the village creates the village. So over the years, I think that Lee's practical go do something really infused into the DNA of the village. It is a very active and creative place. It is a place where the future can be created. And I think that we don't see any more important work that is to be done in this world. And we're also delighted to continue it through a recent generous gift from the Iacocca Family Foundation, which is a matching gift. So it's going to challenge us to step up to the future and build new partnerships and opportunities.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience and insights, Kara. Now, Cheryl, could you tell us what is internationalization in academics, and what role does Global Village play in that space?
Sure, yeah. Well, I think it's important to keep in mind that universities, higher education is fundamentally a global enterprise. If you think about what our faculty, our staff, and students are in the business of doing, it's trying to find solutions to big global problems that are not defined by national boundaries. We're about trying to bring together best minds around the world to try to find those solutions. You know, the vision for a Lehigh education is that we are preparing students to engage with the world and live lives of meaning. And that is reflected in programs, certainly reflected in what the Global Village and the Institute's about, and it's reflected in a lot of what we do in terms of our international work. Our study abroad programs, the kinds of global research consortia that our faculty are part of, the global partnerships we have with universities and other institutions around the globe, the 1,000 international students we bring to campus each year from over 80 different countries. I think one of the things that we heard in the video, that wonderful CNN clip with Iacocca, was that he really understood the importance of having people come to really have a human-to-human connection as part of that becoming a good leader and having kind of impact. And I think that has been something where it has really informed what the Institute does and how it informs then what else, the other kinds of impacts it has back on campus. And so in many ways, the Institute is our flagship international immersive intercultural leadership program. And it's done a number of things. President Helbley's remarks talked about the programs that has spun out of this. Our Iacocca International Internship Program, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. It's become the kind of laboratory for good practice on intercultural learning for us. It's helped us build this extraordinary Lehigh network of global leaders, 2,500, 140 different countries, just amazing network. And so it really has become the face of what it means to be responsibly and meaningfully engaged in the world. Yeah.
Thanks so much for helping us further understand the program. Susan, one of the key components of Global Village is its network and connections. How has networking and collaboration at the local, national, or international levels helped shape the growth of your companies and of you as a person and as a professional?
Thanks, Grover. First of all, happy 25th anniversary to all the Iacocca Global Villagers. Good job, Kira, for getting us here to this important milestone. It's really wonderful to know that 47 of the current villagers are here and 40 are back, and there's an extensive network of 2,500 alumni to this program. That's just amazing. And one of the great things about networking is that, you know, it's valuable, and the strength of your network, and I'm going to say this throughout this whole answer, is as strong as it is the responsiveness of someone to return your call. A network is only as good as someone calling you back when you make that phone call or you send that email. So one of the most important things is that good networking shouldn't be forced, and it should be genuine and sincere, because that's how you build a relationship on trust and respect. And where collaboration comes into play, as the villagers all work on their projects here at the Institute, you know, they're collaborating, and every moment is an opportunity as you collaborate to learn people's strengths and weaknesses and your own, and to build that value system and show people your character and show people that you're responsible and that you follow on your commitments. That's how good collaboration works as well. So if you build that strong relationship and you build that, you know, you build on that strong collaboration, you can do that. A couple of things in my life, in terms of an example, is that in 2011, my husband passed away got killed by a drunk driver. And what happened was my relationships with my vendors came forth, they came to support me, and as I have experienced a decade later, some of those vendors are now in high positions. One's a chief information security officer at Tier Point. I can trust that my network is strong. These folks are in high positions now as you get older, and I can count on them to call me back. So those are some of the things that I hope the villagers here realize. It is an opportunity to build a strong network.
Well, thank you so much, Sue, for your wisdom and real life experience. You're watching the live broadcast of the 25th anniversary celebration of the Iacocca Global Village program at Lehigh University. We're now going back to Steel Stacks to take a few questions from our live audience.
Hi, my name is Isotta Rossoni. I'm from Italy. I'm a Global Villager of 2021. I have a question for Kira. Kira, what are your main personal and professional learnings from Global Village?
Wow, there's a few too many to mention there, but I'll try to pick one. I would say if the biggest learning is how much we learn in the village, and all of us, not just the villagers, everybody who touches the village learns, and it has shown me how big our capacity for learning really is. I've spent more than a year with the team that created the Global Village. I've had some kind of role in 20 out of the 25 villages. I've been in this role for 5.5 years. I will tell you, every single day in the village, I am learning something, and I've come to expect it. And we think that leadership development, you know, there's sort of this traditional view of we're getting wisdom from those who have succeeded in the past. We're getting, you know, wisdom from people who hold positions of power, who have been there before us. And sure, that happens. And also there are a lot of frameworks and there are principles and there's things to learn and ways to think about things, and those are really useful and we practice those. But really, we learn about leadership when we are working closely with each other. We learn when we are working together purposefully, when we are trying to understand each other, when we're opening ourselves to learning, and we learn when we are helping each other to be better. You know, Sue said that networking is really super important. We learn when we make each other better. I mentor you, you mentor me, we mentor each other. And there's a very important mentor for me in the village who taught me that, who's in the audience today.
Thanks so much for your question. And now we have another one for Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Malik Nurmuradov from Uzbekistan, Flex alumnus and a GV 2012 alumnus, currently doing my MBA at Lehigh University. So my question is for Cheryl. Can you share your insights about employability and education in the US and abroad?
Okay, great. Well, first of all, Malik, I want to say congratulations on your MBA and good luck as you start your job search this next winter. And I also want to draw on what Sue said. What an amazing opportunity you have over there at Steel Stacks right now with all those other villagers and alums from the program who are there. So I hope you're taking full advantage of that network while that's happening. There's a strong correlation between the kinds of things that you learn doing by participating in an international experience, by living, studying, working abroad, that are the kinds of skills that we know that employers are looking for. Things like strong communication skills, ability to be able to work effectively with diverse teams, the kind of leadership skills that come with that, the ability to define and solve problems in ambiguous situations. Those are all kinds of things that are part of these experiences, and we know that are things that employers look for. And so again, reason why we see those as being correlated. But one of the things that I'm particularly interested in is also this growing body of work around the relationship between international experiences, living abroad, studying abroad, and developing an entrepreneurial mindset. And increasingly, there's a number in the innovation community that see these kinds of experiences like the Village or study abroad programs as among the best kinds of preparation to become an entrepreneur. And if you think about it, and you think about, Malik, the kinds of things that I'm suspecting that you've gotten from your participation in the Village, the self-awareness, this sense of being able to, again, to work with people from diverse areas, this problem solving and thinking about things from different perspectives, and that resilience, those are all traits we associate with an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship as well. And again, the reason why there's that kind of work there to do that. So I'll just say good luck to you. I think with your amazing network, your Lehigh MBA, and your experience in the Village, you're going to have a lot to talk with employers about.
Thanks so much. Sue, we have one more question for you.
Hi, my name is Till Schmitz. I'm from Dortmund, Germany, and a GE 2020 alumnus. My question is for Susan. I'm majoring in business administration, and I'm thinking about starting my own business. What are some traits, something that you would say someone needs to become a successful entrepreneur? Just continuing to what we just heard.
How much time do you have? Okay, I can only focus on one of my favorite quotes, and that is, smart people learn from their own mistakes, but wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So as an angel investor, and by the way, I'm a Lehigh University alumni too. That's one of my strongest networks. One of the things we look for as we look at startups and CEOs is how willing they are to take constructive feedback. So it's one thing to have a passion and confidence and a strong vision. It's another to be stubborn. And if there are folks that have gone before you that have been successful, your ability to listen to them and take what's valuable to you and your company is really one of the most important attributes, because not everything goes usually as you have planned. And so your ability to pivot or to solve problems or to tap into that network to find out if someone's been there before that can help you get through it, that's one of the most important attributes to starting your company. I mean, others include your leadership and your ability to recruit talent, because if you can build trust and that conviction to success, that will also allow you to build your team to ensure success. So remember, be wise. Smart's not always the best thing. Wise is better.
Wise words. Thank you, Sue, and thank you for your question. Kira, before we conclude the program, we wanted to ask you, as the director of the Iacocca Institute, what are your priorities for Global Village for the next 5 years?
Well, I see we're just asking small questions today. So, I'm a strategy consultant, so I'm not going to be giving you the 5-year plan just yet. But I think I'm going to take a cue from Susan here, and I'm going to leave you with a couple of questions that we ask ourselves and that I think are going to guide as we think about our priorities. And the first one is, how do we take what we're learning, what we've been learning for 25 years, and use it to find ways to make more of these kinds of experiences, more accessible experiences, to basically say, what is the good thing that is happening here, and how can it happen more for more people in more ways, and can we be a part of discovering that, designing that, making that happen in the world? The second is, how do we tap the power of this network in the world? And you know, the Global Village experience kind of blows your doors wide open. You know, what happens next, though, is potentially even more mind-blowing than what happens when you're in this experience. And I think we've only scratched the surface of what we can do there. And I don't mean just, okay, we have programs for alumni. I mean, how do we learn to engage throughout our lives in these activities across generations with our alumni, you know, among ourselves at the universities, between universities and corporations and communities? How do we use those conversations that can happen throughout the world with our alumni and really bring those together? So I guess personally, I'd like to imagine a world in which all young people get to do this and have these eye-opening, world-opening experiences, and then we can all have them throughout our entire lives. And I think that's a vision that drives me as I'm thinking about those two questions.
Thank you, Kira, for sort of bringing it all together for us. Susan, Cheryl, and Kira, thanks so much for joining us. And that will do it for our show. To all of our viewers in the United States and all over the world, from all of us at PBS 39 and 91.3 WLVR, and on behalf of the Iacocca Institute at Lehigh University, thanks so much for watching and listening. I'm Grover Silcox. See you next time.